Hi, my name is Brittany Hammond, and I am the host of Good and Well. Today's episode, I believe, is episode number 6. Yes, episode 6. And we are going to be talking about all things eco-friendly. So we're talking about how you can be more eco-friendly in your own life. We're going to be talking about what you can and cannot recycle, how to recycle, because I know I have those questions. I'm like, what can I recycle? What can I do? How do I do this? So we're going to be answering those questions today. Today, I'm going to be joined by my good friend, Lisa Loyola. She is the eco-friendly feminist here on Instagram. So if you find her Instagram at eco_friendly feminist, and she's got all of the great details for you on how to become more eco-friendly. And that's really what we're here to do, is to educate and learn and enhance your life. And of course, in my opinion, the more eco-friendly that we can be, the better for the planet. And then we just make a better world all over. We also have an exciting little bit of information at the end that we're going to drop for you and let you know exactly what that is coming at the end. I'm really excited about it. We're going to be doing a partnership and meeting up about that. So that's coming towards the end. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned for that final announcement. Like I said, today, eco-friendly is the game. I am prepared. I've got my mason jar that is recycled. I've got my metal straw. I'm using that today. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to be super eco-friendly, and maybe I can pass along that information to you through Lisa. And so I'm excited to talk with her. I've known Lisa for, how many years? I guess I've known Lisa for about 12 years, probably 10 or 12 years. So I'm really excited to be talking with her today about all things eco-friendly. If you do not follow her on Instagram, you definitely should, and we'll give you all that information and so you can find her. So Lisa and I are going to talk for the next about 30 minutes to you about being eco-friendly. Oh, no. Hello, my friend.
Hi. Hold on.
How are you?
Ooh. Ah!
How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm just sideways. Do you see me sideways?
I do see you sideways. Maybe just turn the whole phone.
Hold on.
And then it'll just make you, there you go. Now you're straight up and down. I see you.
Good. Cool. Hi.
Hi. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm super excited to talk about being eco-friendly, how to show up better in the world and help heal the world. So you're one of those people that I've known for a very long time, and I'm super grateful for our friendship and grateful that we've got a topic that you can teach me about, because I have not a lot. I mean, I know things, but I don't feel like I know all the things. So
I don't know all the things either, so it's okay. Baby steps. We'll get there.
Okay, so I do want to know, I kind of preface this by saying I've known you for, goodness, 10 years or so. And we've had our party days. We've had our, we've gone through so many things.
Yeah.
But at what point, because I will be honest, I can't remember, as we were going through our early years of friendship, that, real big drive for eco-friendly activity and being involved. So what really got you started in becoming, invested in and interested in the eco-friendly movement?
So I wasn't very eco-conscious back then when we first met. I think when I moved to New York, I learned a lot more. They have a lot more rules and regulations. So over there, in our apartment building, you had to recycle. And if you didn't, you would get fined.
Oh, wow.
And it's not well, I live in Texas right now, but it's not like that here. It's very meh, you can recycle or you cannot. And that's okay. And some places have recycling, but it's not mandatory. And over there, it's mandatory. So I learned a lot there. And then I also worked for this company called Lush, who's very eco conscious and eco-friendly. So I just learned a lot being there. And then I just jumped on the wagon.
Right.
And learned all the things.
Yeah, and there's so much to it. I think, there's so many different ways to be green. And so for me, I was really excited to, when you started on this journey, because I'm like, oh, yay, I can learn from that, because where do I start? What do I do? Because I think, there's so many little things. You have things like B corporations that I've been learning about, because I with my fitness clothes. I'm like, oh, I like to shop at Athleta. That's a B Corp. What is a B Corp? And I'm trying to find out all these things.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, but I still use bags. I still do this. I still do that. And so I get so overwhelmed. And I'm like, I hate paper straws, and I'm trying to be better, but it's like, I hate paper straws. I just want a stinking plastic straw. But I also want to be, like, earth conscious, and I want to be better. So what are ways that we can get started, like baby steps? What are those first baby steps that we can make? Because I think it can get overwhelming when you're like, I can't do it all.
Yeah. So my first step, my baby step, which I feel like it's pretty easy to do, is reusable bags. So that when you're going to the grocery store, just take your reusable bag. I have visuals here, so I'm going to show you my.
You know what?
I'm ready. I'm here. Okay. So this one I actually got yesterday. People get reusable bags all the time for free. Like, you don't even have to buy one. I mean, if you want something really cute and fancy and nice or whatever, you can buy one. But like, I always get free ones. I got this one's from a movie that I worked. It was free. So it's gonna go into I have one bag that I put all of my reusable bags in, and I keep it in the car. And when I go shopping, I have it with me. Like, I don't have any excuses. It's in the car all the time.
Right.
Sometimes I will forget it. But I keep just stashes of like bags in the car, just if I need one or whatever. And then I stick everything in there. Because, like, let's say you go to the grocery store and they're like, oh, we don't want to crush any of your stuff, so we're going to do one bag with a loaf of bread and then one bag with, like, 3 things. And it's like, oh, my. And then you come home with, like, 500 plastic bags. Also, the plastic bags. I have a substitute for that as well.
That's great. That's my biggest problem.
I use these little mesh ones.
Those are great. I love those.
Yeah, and there was like, I bought them on Amazon. There was like 5 of them for like, I don't know, $8. And so I take it to the grocery store and I put my produce in here. So like, it doesn't look crazy like you're stealing or whatever, because it's like a mesh bag. Because it's like a mesh bag.
So like, lady, where are you going with all those? And you're like,
you're like, where's the apples going?
To not bag them at all, to just like throw your produce in the cart. And for me, I'm like, oh goodness, like that seems stressful to just have a bunch of produce rolling around in my cart. And so I've never done it, but then I'm like, I've got all these bags, and then they come home, and I do try to reuse them when I can, of course, but it's not always possible. Somebody
reuse bread bags.
Yes, that's
smart.
Really smart. Yeah, reusing bread bags is brilliant, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you got. You ain't
right, or even taking back, like going shopping one time, I guess, and then going back with those same bags over and over is also a great option, because you can just reuse those.
Yes, whatever you can get your hands on, I'm like, do it. So that's my like first to get rid of those bags. And like in Austin, like there's no plastic bags anywhere, so you have to either pay for them or bring your own, which is great.
California,
and I feel like
too, you have to pay.
That's wonderful. I mean, people still do it, whatever, but or at least like Whole Foods, they have paper bags, which is better. But
yeah, and I mean, I have a cat, so I'm always like, oh, I can throw my cat waste away, but then it still seems like waste, even though I'm reusing it to make to put trash away, but then I still feel like, okay, well, it's still waste. But I mean, also, I'm not just gonna throw caca down down in the chute. So I mean, you have to use something. So there's you can't do it all, but I mean, I'm really inspired by people who do the zero waste. I'm like, man, that's so cool. But
that's extreme.
How? Yeah, like, but I think when we think
I would love
of recycling, and that and I think when we think of like recycling, reusing, all of that, that's kind of where our mind goes of like, oh, I can't do that, instead of thinking of like the easy things that you can do. We want to save the world all at one time, but it's just not possible.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but not.
It's either baby steps. Right. So the next thing that's really easy for me is switching from a body wash to a bar soap. I love me a bar soap. I feel cleaner with the bar soap. And like, if you use a loofah or whatever, you can just, it's the same thing. Right. Instead of like squeezing your soap, Liz says she uses grocery bags in her garbage cans. What can I use for my garbage cans instead of my grocery bags? That's a really good question. And I don't know.
I mean, but I think, I mean, for me to, because I use grocery bags again for my garbage, my like little garbage cans and same things and waste and things. But I think like I'm getting another use out of it. At least it wasn't a one use thing, I guess. But you know, short of, and you have, I mean, you have to have everything tied up when you put them in the garbage. Anyways, they don't let you just, at least in my apartment, you can't just throw stuff anywhere. So I feel like you have, you know, you have.
I have seen. So, and again, in Austin, my uncle lives there, and they have paper garbage bags. They're like these big old paper bags. I haven't really looked for them, but they exist. So that is one. For bars of soap, I love Lush. Obviously, I work there. Moisturizing ones, yes, they have all kinds. Even like, I like to use local made ones too. So like there's someone in Dallas that they sell them at Whole Foods, and I go there and I smell them through my mask.
Right.
and I look at the ingredients, like anything with like almond milk or like milky things are going to be more moisturizing, or like shea butters. Those are going to be moisturizing. Anything with like lemons and citrus are going to be more like washy and like a little bit more drying. Next, instead of toothpaste, because those are not, you can't recycle those unless you like cut them open, clean them out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're not, I mean, they just have a bunch of leftover crap in there. So those are not, you can't recycle those. So there's these.
Oh, yes. I posted a photo of those on, so there's the flyer for you.
There are these little tablets. And I'm not gonna do it right now, but you pop them in your mouth. You pop them in your mouth, and you just like chew it up, and it foams like a toothpaste. It's got baking soda, so it's cleaning. It cleans. So I like to use these. I mean, you can switch it up. Like even if you try to incorporate these like a couple of times a week instead of using the toothpaste all the time. Right. And they feel really clean. This one has charcoal.
And those are called toothy tabs, or
yes, these are from Lush.
Okay.
I'm not.
Lush is getting a whole
shout
out. They're like, I don't work there anymore, but shout out to Lush. Can we get a sponsorship? Cool.
Exactly.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah. So, but other people make them. So you can just look up. I guess they were called something else. Other people called them other things from other companies. I'm sure
toothpaste tablets or something. If you Googled it, I'm sure something would come up.
Yes. What else do I have? Oh, reusable coffee mugs. So I don't know if you guys knew, but at Starbucks they have reusable cups, and they're like not expensive. And if you take them in, they give you a discount.
That's
on
awesome.
your coffee. That's amazing. First of all, just for the discount, you should do it.
Right. Are they? Yeah. I mean, it's. I have one too. And I was wondering. I mean, maybe you know or don't know. I don't know. But is it like, are they taking them for right now because of COVID? Are they allowing you to bring in your own?
That's a good
question.
I mean,
I haven't been going to any.
I haven't either.
So I don't know. But if anybody knows, if you care to share, if they're doing that. But I think it's just. Like COVID's kind of changed a lot of ways that you can do things. And I know even here for a while, you couldn't even bring in your own bags to the grocery store. Like, and then they were like, yeah, they wouldn't let you bring them in. And then they finally said, you can bring them in, but you have to pack them yourself. Like you have to bag your own.
Yeah,
and someone said they're not taking them that way. So that kind of stinks. So, I mean, there's like ways that we can be green, but it's not available right now.
Yeah. I'm totally fine bagging my own stuff. I'm like, it's better if I touch them and not you anyway.
Right. Yeah, I mean now they're doing it for you if you want, but they used to be like you can't bring them in, and then they're like you can bring them in, but yeah.
I said they're not.
Well, when this is over,
when they do,
right? When they do, take your own cup.
Yes. And what's my last thing? Oh, silicone bags. I have some, but they're all in use. So instead of the plastic bag for sandwiches or your kids' snacks or whatever, the silicone bags, you can even like freeze them. Like for your leftovers or whatever, they freeze. They're really great and they last forever.
I just switched to those actually. there was like a sale on them at Walmart. I mean, they're really affordable, actually. I was kind of surprised because when I had thought about it or seen them, I was like, oh, they're probably expensive. And then I saw a set of maybe like 4 for like $4 at Walmart. And I was like, oh, it's like really not a big deal. And so now I just have a bunch of them. And so that's what CJ and I are using now for all of our stuff. And I'm like, this is great. You know, we just wash them out and put them back in. And I mean, they're super easy. And I mean, just like I said, more affordable than I thought. Cause I think for me, I always think, oh, well, you know, that stuff is more expensive. And just like you said, with the like tote bags that you get along, you can get a lot of them for free places. It's just about,
using them, bringing them with
you.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
That part.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I have some at home and then like some in the car. I keep them like on rotation everywhere around that I can. And I really like that you said the bar soap, because that's one thing that I've used bar soap in the past, but it never crosses my mind. I'm always like, I'm out of soap. I'm like, oh, I need more body wash. And I never think to use bar soap. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because I'm now going to switch to bar. I mean, my parents love bar soap a lot.
Me too.
So
I love it.
So I should know better.
It seems, but it's like old school, you know, but it's great, especially now, like all these people are making fancy bars of soap that smell great and do all this stuff. So it's like, just get a bar. I mean, you can also get like whatever, the Dove that comes in a 6-pack.
Yeah, I'm making a change. I mean, I'm going to finish because I'm not going to waste. So I'm going to finish what I have now. And then we're going to go with bar soap again. Yes. So question for you and what, you know, it's kind of an opinion thing, but also kind of like a politic thing. But why do you think it's so important to be making these changes now? Like, I mean, obviously we're seeing a lot about global warming and we're seeing all these like changes that are happening, but why do you, I mean, besides the obvious, like, why do you think, and why are you so passionate about it now and like really making those changes?
I feel like there's so many reasons. But just like little things like our water we don't want our water to be contaminated and we can't drink the water, which I really don't drink tap water anymore anyway. But like, I have a 3-year-old, almost 3-year-olds, and I want there to be all of these resources for him. I don't want our soil and our land to be contaminated and he can't have all the luxuries that we have. Like, I don't know, clean air.
Yeah, you know, those trivial things that you know we just kind of need. Yeah, and I mean, I think you probably saw it, and probably a lot of people listening saw it, but the countdown about like how long we have if we continue to treat the world the way that we are, and it is terrifying. Was it like 7 years or something?
It's something, I think it's like, well, I heard 11 the last.
I mean, whatever the years are, it's not enough because I plan to still be alive. I'm like, I ain't got a boo yet. I ain't got a kid. Like, I got things to do. Like, I got to get married someday. Like, give me some time. But it is crazy because I was like, whoa, that is terrifying.
Yeah, and I mean, these are little things that everyone can do, but like a lot of these corporations and large companies, they are way, you know, they have a bigger impact on the environment than we do, and they need to step up as well and, you know, start making more renewable resources, like using renewable things for cars instead of gasoline, and, you know, all there's so many things, but baby steps I can do, you know.
Of course. Right. And I mean, it's all like, it's every single person making one little change, and then it adds up, versus like you doing all the changes and me doing nothing isn't super beneficial because I'm not doing anything. But it's like, if we're each doing our one little thing, like something, then we can make a big difference. I mean, there's 8 billion of us here, so I think we could do it.
Yeah, we can.
But you know, and I've found myself being more conscious of where I'm spending my money, who I'm spending my money with, you know, and something that I haven't gotten into, but I know a couple people that are listening that they do is thrifting. And that's something that I haven't even really gotten into, but it's an incredible way to reuse and be more eco-friendly, because you're thrifting and you're taking clothes that were already done. And I still don't even know how the thrifting, how it's working with COVID too. I mean, maybe someone can share that as well. But there are ways to with your clothing and
Yeah.
also more more affordable as well. So it is really important to be more conscious. And I really am trying to be like, oh, and not just about eco-friendly, but like in all things of like, where do you stand on racial equality? There's a
Yeah.
lot of other
There's
things
a
to
lot.
be concerned
There's a lot
about
going on.
besides but I am trying to be more conscious of where I'm shopping and what people are, how they're creating their garments. Like, for example, you have and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but
Yep.
you do make shirts and you use recyclable material. And I have quite a few of them, and your tote bag, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, knowing where you can purchase items that are friendly.
So we do, especially with kids, I feel, because they grow out of their clothes so quickly. We have a lot of kids around here, a lot of kids, I guess thrifting or secondhand shop, and they're good clothes. Some of them are brand new. Some of them have never been worn or been worn once or twice. And it's great because my son grows out of his clothes and his shoes and everything so quickly. So it's like, why wouldn't we,
Right.
And then give them to someone that or take them back to a store and they'll resell them.
Right. Yeah. I think that's so. And I think too, that's something I try to be conscious of anytime I'm like, oh, I don't want these clothes anymore, unless they're like obviously awful. I'm making sure that I'm donating them so that they can be reused and hopefully like find. And I think even this is totally kind of to the side, but even I think about like when women get married, you get a wedding dress that you wear one time, and it's like, then
Sitting
what?
in your closet.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm like, okay, I'm interested in if it ever happens. I'm interested in like
when it happens.
I'm interested in a wedding dress that has been worn. It's been worn once.
Once.
I mean, and some people keep it. I get that, but like for those that don't, it's been worn one time. So why not? I mean, it's not a big deal to because I know people, some people don't enjoy wearing worn clothes. But I'm like, it's been worn one time, or some clothes you find and have not been worn at all. So there's some beautiful little gems in there. I've searched sometimes for like Halloween costumes and stuff. I'm like, there's so much. Oh, and renting clothes as well as a thing. Like Rent the Runway and other things that are also really popular now.
Yeah,
we've got people with dresses still in their closet. So it's okay. We run the gamut. My mom still has hers too. So
bags too, like everything that I feel like if it's okay and reusable, if you're not going to use it again, give it to somebody that will. And even if you take them to those secondhand stores, they'll pay you. Maybe it's not that much, but they'll pay you for your clothes.
But why not make some money while you do it? So this is my biggest question. What is the proper way to recycle? Because I'm literally the person, I'm like, oh, this is recyclable. And then I just throw it in. I know that's not right. So sometimes I'm like, Lisa, can I recycle this? Lisa, what do I do with this? So with foil or plastic, that has like a wrap around it. Like, what's the deal?
So it is tricky. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm still like, some things I'm like, can I recycle this? And I will look it up. And I have people like message me on Instagram. I welcome all of the inquiries. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. But so like, if it's like hard plastic, usually it's recyclable. And a lot of times it'll have a little number on there. And that little number tells you if you can recycle. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what all the numbers mean, but I have a little chart on one of my posts, I think. I'll post it again. But as long as it's clean. So like, let's say your milk jug or, whatever you buy that has a plastic container, as long as you clean it out. So if you don't clean it out, it's not recyclable. So like, it is, it's a little bit of an extra step. Liz says her mom recycles. Well, yeah, foil is they like reuse foil like multiple times. So yeah,
you can wash it and reuse it. Yeah, that's great.
Or like clean it out. If you don't want to use it, just clean it out and like bunch it up and throw it in the recycle bin, and it will get reused. So that's a really good one. Like, don't throw it in the garbage.
Right.
What else? Cans. I think they reuse like 70% of tin cans again. So that's a good one. Just as long as they're clean.
You just have to wash like
Have
everything,
to wash
and
it.
that's where I fail because I feel like I'm ruining the entire bunch of
The
recyclables
lunch meat,
probably by doing that. So it's interesting because I mean when I was younger I would do like soda cans, and we take the soda cans and we go see them crushed, and it was like a thing. Which I don't know if kids still do that or think it's cool anymore, but or what if
I've
people
seen the
do that, I don't know.
machines. I think they do.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's like a thing that's as cool. I mean, I think we went to a field trip and then it was like this obsession with collecting cans and all those things. And then you're like, great, I have all these cans. And they're like, here's 10 cents. And you're like, woohoo, like, it was money back in the day. But I think I really skip on the cleaning. That's one thing that I kind of like salad dressing. I'm like, all right, this is done.
Yeah.
And then I know. So I read something on your page about that. And I was like, oh, I got to clean this.
Yeah. So also, if let's say you have a bin, your recycle bin, and you have recyclables in there, and you throw in a dirty whatever, it like contaminates the rest of your recycle stuff. So sometimes they won't even they'll just throw it away.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to be careful with that. If you're in a hurry, whatever your reason is, that you can't wash it at the moment, and you just throw it in the garbage. Like, don't even try to put it in the recycle bin. Just throw it in the garbage, because that's where it's going to go anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yes, glass buying is a great idea as well.
Yeah, I have. I reuse my visuals. My pasta sauce jars. You can take out the labels off if you just soak them in hot water. I don't really care. But like, so I use a lot of coconut milk that's from a can, but I don't use the whole can. So I just put the rest in here, put it in the refrigerator, or like whatever, berries, whatever. I put the baby snacks in glass jars sometimes too.
Heather's using wine bottles as glasses. Just
hey,
you get a big glass of water when you need it.
Oh my god,
that's a good idea as well.
Whatever works. Hey, I don't knock any of it.
I love it all. I think that whatever you can do to reuse and make the world a more friendly place is good. So we're doing what we can. And I love all these comments.
Yes. Liz says she's drinking her orange juice from a Virgen de Guadalupe old candle glass at her mom's house. Hey, I feel like old school Mexicans are they recycle everything. Like the butter containers they use for years. They put the beans in them. The list goes on.
Right. When you find that cookie tin that has sewing materials in it, and you're like, this is not cookies, this is sewing material. Hey. So whatever it takes, which is so what is something like people would be surprised to learn like is not recyclable, where you're like, oh yeah, this is you just think off the top of your head, you're like, yeah, totally, and then you're like, oh, you can't.
So like those produce bags that I was talking about, and like the real thin like even the plastic bags, they are recyclable, but you have to take them to I think they have them at Walmart in some places, that you can take all of your plastic bags and put them, because you can't put them in the recycle bin. They don't recycle. And like, let's say you have pizza last night and your pizza box has grease stains. You can't recycle that. That's not recyclable.
Did that the other night. Okay.
It's compostable. Like, you can compost it if you know about composting, but it's just throw it in the garbage.
Well, that was eye-opening for me, because I certainly threw a pizza box away, or I tried to recycle a pizza box the other day. So that makes me feel. Now I know. See, that's why I asked that question. What are some things that does surprise me to know, because I really had no idea. And I think, is styrofoam one of those, or can you recycle styrofoam?
So styrofoam is like the worst.
One thing you cannot. Okay.
It's like, I don't know, something like 500 years to decompose. So like us and our kids and our grandkids and like their kids, they're still going to be, it's still going to be styrofoam. So like if you can go to places, like I would get places that don't use styrofoam for their takeout. Like,
yeah, or even like styrofoam packing peanuts and things. Like I've noticed, like, because I've been on kind of been ordering things during this. So a lot of the things that I've been getting in packages, like I've noticed it's like paper shreds, or like they're not using like styrofoam, they're using like all different ways. Like shout out to Thrive Market. They have like their entire box is like is recyclable, like down, like the way they pack it, everything they do is 100% recyclable. It's really cool. So Thrive Market, if you guys ever in the mood for that, just thought I'd throw that out there. They have groceries that you can Lush ship, but everything is Lush, Thrive, care to sponsor this, we're here for it.
Yes.
You know where to find us. But yeah, so that was like another thing that I thought was cool. Like as I'm buying or getting things, I'm noticing, they're like shipping them differently and the way that they're handling things.
There are also there's these new I mean, they're not new, but they're being used more. That they're like, they look like styrofoam peanuts, but they're made out of corn. So the way you can tell if it's styrofoam or not is put it under the water and it'll decompose if it's corn. We would sometimes put them in our mouth at Lush. It was like initiation.
Did they taste good?
It was like initiation. It kind of had a corny taste.
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay. I won't. I will not do that.
But those are, good alternatives.
That's awesome. Are latex, do you know if latex gloves? I don't believe they are.
I feel like
they need to be trashed.
I feel like they're in the same category as the plastic bags. I don't know.
Yeah, that they could be. We'll have to Google that.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll make a post. Right. And finally, final question is some eco-friendly gift ideas. The holidays are upon us. What can we buy for like our eco-friendly pal, or if we want to help someone else become more eco-friendly?
So going off like the stuff that I had said earlier, like eco stuff. Again, it's from Lush.
Hey, you know what? Come on, Lush, come through.
So, your creams, your daily moisturizers, your night creams, your serum bars, they make them in solid form.
Oh.
So I have one here. I've been using it, so it's a little, but so it's a solid. It looks like a piece of soap, but it's not. This is like lots of butters, and so you literally just smooth it on your face, and it melts. So you just use a little tiny bit, like you just go like this, and then you just rub it in, and you're done. And
wow.
Yeah, there's no packaging to it. And they have different kinds for whatever kind of skin tone, like skin, whatever you have, oily, dry, blah, blah, blah. You go, they'll tell you what you need. And so that's a good one. I really like these because, you have your leftovers and you're putting them in your container and you can't find the lid.
Right.
So I have these.
Oh, okay. Little like beeswax they're made of or something?
They're beeswax food wraps. This one I've had for at least a year and it's still super duper sticky.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're antimicrobial, I think. They're either antibacterial or antimicrobial. So like they're basically self-cleaning. I mean, you do have to like rinse them off with cold water, but they'll last a really long time. Like I've had some for like 2 years and they still work. And then they'll send you sometimes a little bar of beeswax. So once your things aren't sticky anymore, I think you heat it up and you just re-wax it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, what else? What did I say? So you can make your own candles, which I kind of like to do. I feel like homemade gifts are just so great and they're so thoughtful because you're thinking of like what that person likes.
Right.
Silicone straws.
My little straw.
Yeah, one of my friends really uses a lot of straws, so I got her silicone straws. Jenny, I don't know if she's here. What else? Oh, this one I really, really love. I'm looking for my visual.
Ooh, someone suggested reusable utensils for lunch or eating out.
Oh, yes. That's a
great one also, especially now in the days of COVID. I think that's like an even more exciting gift.
Yes. So these are dirty, so they are a little crazy looking, but these are makeup remover pads.
That's
So
cool.
instead of using those throwaway ones, these are made with cotton, and they make them like, I like mine with like, they have like designs, but they have like white ones or dark charcoal colored ones.
Mm-hmm.
You just put your makeup remover on there and you wipe.
That's awesome. I do go through a lot of cotton balls.
Yeah, that's a great gift, and I'll put it on my my Instagram where to purchase those.
Awesome. Yeah, and someone said supporting BIPOC companies as opposed to Amazon. That too.
Yeah.
I'm really working on that myself.
Yeah.
I did all my like Etsy shopping. I don't know how many of them are BIPOC. I won't lie about that, but I'm trying to slowly and move away from Amazon and things like that. So that is also very great. And and also someone suggested shopping from the eco-friendly feminist. I've heard of her. I know her, so I think I could talk from her.
She's great.
Awesome. She's fantastic. She's one of the best people I know.
Thanks.
Awesome. So you and I have this really cool thing that we're doing where we are we collaborated.
Did.
On a shirt. So for those of you who are new or don't know much about this, I started this podcast kind of as an idea to have guests that are going to help you live a better life spiritually, mentally, physically. So when you feel good all around, then you feel like you have a good attitude, good energy to go out and do good in the world. So my little tagline is do good, be well. And so Lisa came to me and said, hey, I have an idea. We should collab on a shirt. So we created a shirt. So I'm going to have a show you. It's not available yet. It will be available shortly. And so we'll have it, but do good, be well. And this is it. And it's backwards. Because of mirrors here, but it says do good, be well. And it's super cute. So proceeds of this are going to go, a portion of the proceeds, 40% of the proceeds are going to go to South LA Cafe, which is a cafe that I volunteer at every week, and so we'll be giving a portion of the proceeds to them when the shirt is purchased. So that's kind of the sneak peek for those of you that got to watch this. Now you'll know, and then we'll give you more information later this week on how you can buy it. I'm super excited about it because it is something that does good in the world. It is recycled material.
Yes.
So it's all the good things that we talk about here can help you go out and do good and all that. So I'm really excited about that collab.
Yes, it should be. I should have it up on the website sometime this week. I've been really busy with Christmas orders, you guys.
Hey, you know what? Run that business, girl.
Yes.
Run it.
But I will have it up on my Instagram and on your Instagram and on the website, hopefully by the end of the week.
Yes. So I'm really excited about this shirt. I cannot wait. I think it's super cute. So we designed it together, we picked font, all those things. But and by the way, if you're looking for a custom piece, Lisa's super easy to work with. She's very professional and friendly. Little sidebar. But yeah, definitely I'm excited about that collaboration. I hear my friend Diego in the background.
The door opened and he's screaming. So
my best friend Diego. The perks of being a mom with a business, entrepreneur mom. So also when you support eco-friendly feminists, you're supporting a self-made woman, a mom. So do that as well. But I'll let you get to that. But thank you so much for coming on. Again, you guys can find Lisa at eco_friendly feminist. I spell it wrong all the time. Feminist has 2 eyes. But eco-friendly feminist. And yeah, thank you so much for just sharing your knowledge. I appreciate it.
I'm here. Anybody want to ask me eco questions? Slide into my DMs. And I'll answer you. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll research it because I feel like it's important.
Yeah, we are the first line of defense against protecting this world. We would hope it could be governmental, but
We're going to get there.
We won't get into that.
We're getting there.
It'll eventually get there. Right. We're getting there. We're getting closer. Yeah. But so, starting here where we can and making the difference in our own communities, in our own backyard, in our own home is like where we need to start with things. So thank you again so much. And I'm sure I'll talk to you in like 5 minutes. No, but thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for tuning in. This will also be on the on the podcast. So it'll be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can go ahead and listen. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You can get all of the goodness coming up. We are not live next week because of Christmas Eve. So have a great holiday. If you celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah.
Watch CJ's show after
Kwanzaa,
this.
all of the things. What was that?
Watch CJ's show after this.
Yes. Watch my brother's show after this. Head over to Level Up Festival. That'll also, I'm sure, be because if you're not listening to this live, then it's not helpful. But I'm sure you can find me on their Instagram too later. But thank you guys so much, and we will be chatting next time on the next episode of Good and Well.
Thank you. Bye.